Hey everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the accounting related to an investment property. So if you're an investor, this should be useful for you. I'm going to use QuickBooks Online, but this could be applied to any accounting software. So basically, I set up this example scenario because it always helps to walk through something with no actual numbers, and then you can change the numbers to your own amounts. So I've got a purchase price of 375,000 with a 20% down payment of 75,000, so that leaves a loan amount of 300,000. And then I put some other data in here related to closing costs and things like that, and it has an interest rate of 6%. The monthly payment is about $1,800 with an escrow amount in addition to that of $225 a month. And I know that's a little low. I'm just throwing numbers out here. And then another thing I did was create an amortization schedule in Excel. So I'm using data from here, and you can actually create one of these very easily in Excel. If you go to new, you can type in loan amortization schedule and you can find it pretty easily and then put in your own information. But you don't really need this because you're probably going to have a loan statement each month, and it's going to give you the principal, interest, and things like that. But since this is a fake scenario, I had to create the amortization schedule so I'd know what the amounts are. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I set up in QuickBooks. I set up some building accounts. I set up basically one account for the investment property, but then I have two sub accounts for acquisition costs, which would be the purchase price and closing costs. So you would want to put any closing costs in here that you want to capitalize. And the word capitalize, all that means is you are treating it as an asset and you're going to depreciate the full amount. So you're going to have to know which costs are capitalized and which costs are expensed. I kept it simple in this example, and I will show you that when we get to that. And then I also set up an escrow holding account. Most of the time when you have a mortgage, you will give money to the mortgage provider every month, or the mortgager, I don't know which one it is, but you're going to give them money every month towards your taxes and insurance. They hold the money for you and they make those payments to the insurance company and to your tax entity. So I treat this kind of like a prepaid expense, and I'm going to track money going into that holding and money going out for insurance and taxes. And all of that information should be on your monthly statement. And then another thing I created was a mortgage payable account. And then I also made sure I had expense accounts for property, taxes, and insurance. Okay, so let's just look at my initial purchase journal entry so you know what to do. Okay, so my purchase price was a total of 375,000, and I did put that in the acquisition costs account. It was a debit. And then my closing costs are going to go in that closing cost account. So these are going to be things like attorney fees, recording fees, things like that, things that have to be paid to purchase the property. However, property taxes, that is usually considered an expense. So I did separate that cost, and put that in as an expense. If you're not sure whether it's a fixed asset account or an expense account, if you're not sure which costs go in which category, I would suggest asking whoever does your taxes. Or just put this in here and leave really good notes so that at the end of the year they can fix it as needed. And then I also put money, usually during closing, you also pay extra. You also pay extra towards some closing costs as far as taxes and insurance, some escrow holding amounts, and that's going to be on your closing statement. But this is basically money that you're going to pay up front so that your mortgage company has money available for those taxes and insurance. Okay, so I did that on the purchase date. And then each month you would be making a monthly payment. So that payment, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mention also in my journal entry, I also had a credit to checking for the amount that was paid out right away, which was basically the down payment and the closing costs. And then the mortgage payable, the loan amount is going to be for $300,000. And those are credits. And hopefully at some point I can make a video about debits and credits. Okay, and then each month you're going to make a monthly payment. So you can see I was recording some of these. I recorded the first 4 payments. And let me just show you these. So I split each payment. The total payment's a little over $2,000. Part of that is going to pay down the principal of the mortgage. So that's going to be you're going to put that against the mortgage payable account. And then part of that payment is interest. That's going to be the interest expense account. And then the amount that's held for taxes and insurance, that's going to go into your escrow holding account. So I did this as an expense. It could also be a check, either one, but you just want to make sure you split it out. And this information, these amounts are going to be on your mortgage statement each month. Now, like I said, this is a fake scenario, so I just had to pull amounts from the amortization table that I made. And I basically did this each month. So my mortgage payable amount, the amount going to principal, is slowly going to increase and each month, and then each month the amount of interest is going to decrease a little bit as you pay down that mortgage. And if you pay extra towards the mortgage, like I like to round up and pay a little extra, so if you paid extra towards the principal, that's going to go into your mortgage payable account as well. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, you're going to pull the payments from the statement, pull the amounts from the statement. And I did that each month. So I'm just showing you what that looks like each month. Now, my numbers were off by a penny from this table, and that's probably due to rounding. So if you have an amortization table and it's off by a penny or two, I would say use the amount on the statement, because that is what the bank is recording instead of the amortization table. So you can see the mortgage is very, very, very slowly going down. If I were to run a P&L, I would see how much interest in property or how much interest I was paying. So if I scroll down here, I see all my interest payments. Now notice my monthly mortgage payment is not an expense on my P&L, just the interest. So keep that in mind. You are going to have a separate expense for depreciation for the building itself at year end, and more than likely your CPA is going to do that for you. And then on my balance sheet, let's just look at that. Okay, so I have escrow holding of 2,900 right now. My property, this is not going to change from month to month. Total cost was $384,000. And loan payable, mortgage payable right now is at $298,000. Okay, and then the only other thing to do would be to handle your escrow holding. Every once in a while, you're going to notice on your statement that the mortgage company paid insurance or taxes. So I'm just going to show you what that's going to look like. Let's say on May 1st, the mortgage company pays insurance. Now, this is not a direct deduction from your checking account because they're holding that money, not you. So you're going to debit the expense and credit escrow holding. So let's just say they paid an $800 insurance bill on May 1st. Okay, so you can see that's just going to be a deduction. So same thing. So before there was $2,900 showing in this account when I ran that balance sheet. Now there's only $2,100. So that means as of right now, as of May 1st, there's going to be $2,100 that your mortgage company is holding to make payments on property taxes and insurance. So I hope that makes sense. And so you're going to have to watch the statement for that because, like I said, it's not directly coming out of the checking account, it's coming out of escrow with the mortgage company. So to record those expenses, you will need to watch for those items on your statements. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully this video helps kind of give you a little bit better understanding of how to record things. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I will try to answer them.